Welcome back to the channel. Now if you've been watching my Transformers games recap videos, you would have noticed that up until this point I've been covering the main story games up until Dark of the Moon, but today I'll be doing a recap of the War for Cybertron game, which was a very popular title. So yeah, just a heads up that this game and the Cybertron games, including Rise of the Dark Spark, are in a different universe compared to the original movie games. This game takes place entirely on the Cybertron planet in its final days, detailing the fall of the planet, the rise of Optimus Prime, and the corruption of the core by Dark Energon. So it is not a prequel or sequel to the Dark of the Moon game, but instead it's a story in its own universe, and is part of the Aligned Continuity, which is a planned, shared universe designed to unify multiple Transformer stories, including the Prime television series novels. And the sequel, which is Fall of Cybertron. Wow, what a yap session I just did, but anyways, let's actually talk about the background and story. Millions of years before the war between the Autobots and Decepticons ever reached the shores of Earth, the planet Cybertron was consumed by a catastrophic civil war that threatened to extinguish the spark of the entire machine race. This is the story of Transformers, War for Cybertron, the 2010 masterpiece by High Moon Studios that serves as the origin of the Great War. Set within the Aligned Continuity, this game isn't just a prequel. It is a tragedy that documents the systemic collapse of a world and the rise of two legendary leaders, Optimus Prime and Megatron. To understand this war, we have to look at the two forces driving it: Energon, the lifeblood of the planet derived from the essence of Primus, and Dark Energon, a volatile, corruptive substance born from the chaos of Unicron. Dark Energon acts like a narcotic mutagen, granting immense power while inducing psychological erosion and aggression, and it's the catalyst for everything that follows. The story begins from the perspective of the Decepticons, led by a Megatron who believes the current Autobot administration under Zeta Prime is a stagnant bureaucracy that has allowed Cybertron to rot. In the first chapter, Dark Energon, Megatron leads a precision strike on an orbital research station formerly commanded by the neutral Sky Commander Starscream. Supported by the heavy-hitting Brawl and the Scout Barricade, Megatron crashes a warship into the station's hull to seize the remaining stockpiles of Dark Energon. Upon reaching the manufacturing plant, Megatron does the unthinkable. He immerses himself in the corruption, proving he can harness its power without immediately falling apart. Witnessing this raw strength, Starscream abandons his neutrality and pledges his Seeker forces to the Decepticon cause, marking the true beginning of the Civil War. With the station secured, Megatron needs a massive conduit of raw energon to fuel his production. In the mission, Fuel of War, Starscream, Thundercracker, and Skywarp lead a high-speed aerial assault to reactivate the ancient Energon Bridge beneath the planet's surface. This mission highlights the specialized scientist and scout classes of the Decepticon military, utilizing high-speed jet forms to navigate the industrial heart of the planet. Once the bridge is reactivated, Megatron has the logistics he needs for a full-scale invasion of the Autobot capital, Iacon. This leads into Iacon Destroyed, where Megatron, Soundwave, and Breakdown launch a multi-front offensive to secure the Omega Key, the artifact said to open the gates to the planetary core. After a brutal fight through the city's spires, Megatron defeats Zeta Prime in his high-security vaults, only to learn a horrifying truth: the Omega Key isn't the key itself but a homing device for the planet's true guardian. The Decepticon campaign takes a turn for the survivalist in Death of Hope. The awakening of Omega Supreme, a city-sized Autobot titan, forces Megatron and his team into a desperate retreat through the burning ruins of Iacon. As Omega Supreme rains down plasma fire, Megatron must also navigate internal politics, suppressing a leadership coup initiated by an arrogant Starscream who believes Megatron has met his match. The Decepticon story reaches its climax in the final Guardian. In a massive three-stage boss fight, Megatron systematically corrupts Omega Supreme by injecting Dark Energon into his self-repair mechanisms and Energon batteries. Once the Titan is immobilized and corrupted, Megatron forces him to open the Omega Gate. Megatron descends to the core of the planet and deploys Dark Energon corruptors, infecting the planet's neural network and beginning a systemic collapse of Cybertron's life support systems. The second half of the story shifts to the Autobot resistance, beginning in a state of near-total collapse. In Defend Iacon, the young soldier Optimus takes temporary command after Zeta Prime is reported missing. Working with Bumblebee and the medic Ratchet, Optimus proves his tactical leadership by reactivating Iacon's planetary defense guns and clearing the skies of Decepticon Dark Energon bombers. After repelling Starscream's forces at Decagon Plaza, the Autobots receive a distorted distress signal from Zeta Prime, who's being held captive in the Decepticon capital of Kaon. This leads to the mission Kaon Prison Break, a high-risk infiltration where Optimus, Bumblebee, and Sideswipe allow themselves to be captured as a Trojan horse. They fight through swarms of Spiderbots, rescue the Arielbot air raid, and initiate a massive prison break that liberates warriors like RC and Jazz. However, the mission ends in tragedy. While they defeat Soundwave and his minions Frenzy, Rumble, and Lazarbeak, they find Zeta Prime mortally wounded. He succumbs to the Dark Energon exposure in Optimus's arms. Following Zeta's death, the High Council recognizes the last Prime prophecy and bestows the Matrix of Leadership upon Optimus, officially commissioning him as Optimus Prime. In his first mandate to the core, Optimus leads Ironhide and Warpath into the depths of the planet to cleanse the infection. They find the captive and corrupted Omega Supreme, and while Ratchet performs emergency repairs, the team defends the Titan against waves of Decepticon infantry and heavy tanks. Upon reaching the planetary consciousness at the core, Optimus learns the grim reality. The infection is too deep to be purged immediately. Cybertron must shut down for millions of years to heal and reboot. The core entrusts Optimus with its remaining pure essence, the Matrix, ensuring that the spark of Cybertron lives on even as the world goes dark. As the planet begins its long sleep, the Autobots initiate a planetary-scale evacuation. However, Megatron isn't done. He utilizes an orbital weapon known as the Trypticon station to fire upon the escaping transports. In aerial assault, the flying team of Silverbolt, Jetfire, and Air Raid infiltrates the station to overload its pulse regulators. In their attempt to destroy the station's transformation cog, they inadvertently trigger a catastrophic re-entry. The massive station plummets to the surface, transforming into a gargantuan reptilian titan upon impact. The war reaches its final stand in the mission, One Shall Stand. Optimus Prime, Ironhide, and Bumblebee engage Trypticon in a desperate battle in the ruins of a crashed city. Since their standard weapons can't penetrate his armor, they must manipulate Energon batteries to cause thermal overloads in his weapon ports and eventually destroy his power cores. With Trypticon neutralized, the final evacuation ships, including the massive galactic transport known as the Ark, are able to depart. The victory is hollow, as the Autobots are now a people without a home, embarking on a great exodus into the unknown stars. Optimus Prime delivers a final message to any surviving Autobots, stating that while Cybertron is now a tomb, they remain a living testament to its legacy, waiting for the day they might return to a healed world. This civil war, driven by Megatron's Pyrrhic victory and Optimus's ascension, set the stage for a struggle that would span across the galaxy for millions of years to come. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all next time.